broadcast, please call our trouble hotline at 336-464-1806. Mark, 4 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 3 minutes until airtime on the Rice Sports Network. Mark, 3 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 2 minutes until airtime on the Rice Sports Network. If you encounter any technical issues related to this live show broadcast, please call our trouble hotline at 336-464-1806. Mark, 2 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 1 minute until airtime on the Rice Sports Network. Stations, we're coming up on 1 minute until airtime. 1 minute in 5, 4, 3, 2, mark. 1 minute stations, 1 minute until airtime for this live show broadcast. Studios, when you hear, please start your archive recording. Coming up on 30 seconds until airtime on my mark. Mark, 30 seconds. Your next and final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Coming up on 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds stations. Have fun.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Rice Sports Network. on the Rice Sports Network from Learfield. Live from Mekosina. Welcome to the Mike Bloomgren Show. Mekosina, serving undeniably authentic Tex-Mex. The Mike Bloomgren Show is brought to you by The Parking Spot. The Parking Spot. We have airport parking covered by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 716. Lighting up Rice University and Houston for over 100 years. Now, alongside Coach Bloomgren, here's the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Yes. Welcome back. Here it is, the Mike Bloomgren Show here in the Monkey Bar on the back of Mekosina in River Oaks. A mighty fine spot. They spoiled us here. We've got Dose Monday night football games on tonight. Our guy Luke McCaffrey coming up against those Bengals here in a matter of moments. Great spot to be here. I had to devour. It was my thrice monthly quota of brisket tacos, and just outstanding. We've spread the love about Coach's chimichanga. The Cocina Changa, that's a popular meal item. Can't go wrong. Sizzling fajitas and the tantalizing Mambo Taxi margaritas. Each bite and sip a journey through time-honored Tex-Mex cuisine, a fusion of generations of family recipes crafted in our scratch kitchen using fresh, hand-picked ingredients, delivering a culinary experience that will transport you to the heart of Mexico. Their happy hour, Monday to Friday, 3 until 6, $3 off, some drinks, and $8 Nachos Locos, Nachos Habana. They got the Monkey Bar queso. I had some of that queso too, by the way. And I don't know if you knew this, but I might as well have my doctorate in queso. It's a very weird brag, but I love my queso, and I love this here at Mekosina. It's some great stuff. And don't forget, we got the home game coming up against those Charlotte 49ers. And now you can get the Mambo Taxi margaritas at the game. So what better combination? You've got Rice House football and Mambo Taxi margaritas, right? We're still good. Okay, yeah. Just wanted to triple check. That is a great asset to have as well. Appreciate our friends, Armando and company here at Mekosina. Did not go the Owls' way this past weekend up at Army. The spectacle that it is really hard to describe. Just broadcasting a game from there and everything that represents, especially after we might get into this after the game with Rice standing behind Army when they play their alma mater. It's very awe-inspiring. So we'll break down that game a little bit, and then it is a tight ends night. We have the tight ends boss man, Lucas Reed. We also have two of his star pupils, Elijah Maharo and Graham Walker. They don't have Tex-Mex like this in Vermont, do they, Graham? Right? They do not. So, yeah, he's already getting his vote in. I think he's chowing down on some quesadillas, but it's a fun spot to be. I think this came out last week, but just so you know that it is a 6 o'clock kick against Charlotte coming up. Tickets available starting at $22 through Ticketmaster. We want you there early for the Owl Walk, new tradition starting this year. That's on the east side of Rice Stadium starting at 4 o'clock. So assemble early there right by Tailgate Alley. Get there even earlier than that with the concert series. They have all the events for the kiddos, the snowballs, any kind of grub, the big TV to watch any other games. It's a great spot developing that there outside of Rice Stadium. And we have a giveaway as well. I feel like on election night we're getting some late reports coming in. I got Houston Methodist tumblers. Anything else to add to the ticker? But, yeah, it's a Houston Methodist branded night as well, too. We appreciate everything that our friends at Houston Methodist do. How about this nugget from over the weekend? Speaking of the two NFL games we have up here, our guy, I'm sure he came on this show multiple times. I remember him at least once, maybe twice. Chris Boswell, Wizard of Boz. All hail the Wizard of Boz, the second Steeler and the 67th player in NFL history to top 1,000 career points. And I forget the other part, saw it last week as I trip over some chords here, how many consecutive he had made from 50 plus. It's pretty mind-boggling what our guy and Rice guy, Chris Boswell, has done. So congrats to him on that historic feat there. We've got Walter here, engineering. Happy late birthday, Walter. Happy late birthday. It was his birthday yesterday. We had the game. We talked about it on the broadcast. Or happy early next birthday, 364 days in advance, however you want to look at that. Stay tuned. Coming up next, Mike Bloomgren comes here to the table. We'll talk about that game against Army and some other things around the football program. They'll have a tight ends special tonight. Stay tuned here. It is the Mike Bloomgren Show live here at Mi Casina. It's Rice football from Learfield.
Football fans are passionate, just like John Deere fans. And if you're a John Deere person, the name to know is Shoppers. In football, it's about calling the right plays. The right call for John Deere equipment is Shoppers. Shoppers has the right size John Deere tractor with attachments for any job. You can build your tractor online with Shoppers' exclusive Build It, Price It, Own It tool. See all our John Deere specials by Googling Shoppers at SHOPPAS. It's time for you to make the right call. Shoppers, your John Deere tractor experts and proud sponsor of Rice Owl Athletics.
Big trip on the horizon? Before you depart, you gotta park. The parking spot is the simpler, easier way to navigate airport parking, and you can save when you book online. You're guaranteed a spot, and we even pick you up at your trunk in our yellow and black spotted shuttles and take you straight to the term of parking and saving. Come full circle at the parking spot. The parking spot, proud sponsor of Rice University. Visit theparkingspot.com to reserve your spot today.
Owl fans know where to stay when they come to Houston. Courtyard by Marriott, Rice University is the preferred choice, whether cheering on Coach Bloomgren and the team or kicking off their Rice experience during O Week. Just minutes from Rice Village and only 3 miles to campus, we provide the right mix of convenience and accessibility. When you're hungry, stop by the bistro for either breakfast or evening options. Cheer for the Owls by raising a glass in the lounge and unwind with your favorite beverage. Call 713-661-5669 to make a reservation, and be sure to ask for the Rice University rate. We look forward to welcoming you.
Ready for the game? Fuel up for game day at Salad and Go. Whether you're tailgating, playing in the game, or cheering from home, make sure you've got your game day greens. From fresh salads to hearty wraps and refreshing drinks, Salad and Go has what you need to fill up and feel great. Score big with game day greens from Salad and Go. It's just what you need to win the day. Find a drive-thru near you at saladandgo.com or order online at saladandgo.com.
Welcome back to the Mike Bloomgren Show. Here's the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Welcome back here, the Mike Bloomgren Show live at Mi Casina every Monday night of a game week. So our last one until 2 weeks from now. But come on out 7 until 8. We're on the Rice Owls YouTube and X channels. Of course, the audio platforms as well. The Owls Game Day app, Varsity Network app, riceowls.com. Coach, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Yeah, I forgot that we won't be here for 2 weeks. Well, I'll miss that Mi Casina next Monday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you can order it up, some kind of app.
I might just come. I mean, you got Monday Night Football on here, and you were talking about Boz, but tonight, I mean, you got Coach Jerry Mack, who was on your show a bunch of times on the Jacksonville Jaguars sideline.
That's right.
I think Luke's in the second game, so we got a lot of Rice Owls doing some things in the NFL right now. Yeah,
Luke. I saw his stat line a week or so ago. Have you talked to him since the season started?
We've texted probably about the time of their first game. I don't know that I've texted with him lately. I need to. I'll catch up with a lot of people on the bye week.
Yeah. So tell us the mindset coming, or I guess opening comments. We always leave it there after that tough one at Army. What are some thoughts?
My thoughts are we got Army. They were able to execute their game plan exactly how they wanted to, and I thought we had a good plan to do what we needed to do and get a few stops and make sure that we understood how valuable each possession was. But at the end of the day, they kind of, they kind of moved us when they wanted to move us and needed to move us. And the discipline that they had in the 17-play, 90-yard drive on the second one, the play-action pass on the first one. And then, we have an opportunity to do what we want to do on offense in that first drive. We're moving the ball, and we get to a 3rd and 3, and then we did something. We had 12 in the huddle, and that's a coaching mistake that we got to make sure doesn't occur. We certainly don't want to be the ones that ever affect our team in an adverse way. And that became a 3rd day. We moved the sticks, and then the second drive that I described happened. And again, you get to the locker room 20-0 at half, and you're like, hey, we've really got to go, guys. And, our defense's credit, they get their first third down stop in that third quarter. And Chike and Abuga play on a fake punt. Offense gets the ball there and puts it in the box. 1.7. Like, okay, now we understand the speed of this thing on defense. Let's make sure we get stopped. And we want to. They just made a couple more plays than we did. And like I said, moving us off the ball was a big thing. And that's what's – you look at the film, and I don't know that we had a whole lot of missed assignments, which you can't have against them where they'll run up the score on you. But what we did have is we had instances where there was a lot of times the gold helmet was below the silver helmet, and leverage is everything in our game. It gives you the ability to move people. And so today, we went back to a little bit of a fundamental approach, and that's what we're going to do all week. We're going to really work on making sure we're playing with our power angles bent. We're striking with our hands, not placing hands every opportunity we get, and playing fundamentally sound football. And when we do that and have this great week of work, everybody on the team is in a great mindset right now of, man, there is nothing else that matters other than 1-0 this week. Worry about what we can control. We're going to correct the correctable. Obviously, for our defense, they're not going to play anybody like Army for a while if Navy even chooses to go under center. But offensively and special teams-wise, there's so many correctable things that we just got to make sure we do this week. We got to, there's an old adage, nobody's perfect in this game. Like, it's an imperfect game played by imperfect players, coached by imperfect coaches. And, you're going to make mistakes. What we can't do is we can't continue to make the same ones.
Mm-hmm. What was the message to the team after the game, and did that resonate into the week? How do you, from a coaching standpoint, you don't want to say the same thing over again, I'm sure, but at the same time, what did you emphasize with them?
Yeah, after the game, it was like, guys, I really don't like seeing you hurt like this, because I know how much they put into it. And I just wanted to make sure, I told them we'd find answers. We'd find answers about how and why it occurred. And we'd also give solutions of how to make sure it doesn't happen again. And that's our job as coaches is we've got to make sure we're giving them something they can work on to make sure we don't have the same result. And the other thing we have to do, I gave my Eisenhower speech about optimism that I love. And I think that's so important, understanding that optimism and pessimism spread so fast from the head down, from the leaders down, that you have to know that. And that's why you got to stay optimistic. You got to choose to understand that we've got everything we want to do. We've got a lot of great things in front of us. But none of that matters. I really ask them to quit looking at the macro and worry about 1-0 this week, winning today, winning this play, so that we can win this game this Saturday.
Yeah, trust the process.
Absolutely.
Old phrases. And, of course, Nate and I on the broadcast talk like we know everything right at the time. But one of the things we said was that, hey, you're 0-1. There's still so much in front of you. You can't let that old adage, you can't let that game beat you more than once. So much of the conference season and most of the season is ahead of you, so you can't get down too long.
Absolutely. And with all due respect, I ain't talking about any of that stuff. 1-0. Anything you want to talk about Army, I'll talk about begrudgingly, and anything you want to talk about the Charlotte 49ers, I'm in.
Yeah. Tell us some of the other positive things you like. I saw from the defensive side. First, you didn't have Tyson Flowers and Marcus Williams. Anything extra known about them, how long they could be out?
Yeah, they're both fighting to get back. Tyson was at practice today. He's going to do everything he can to play this weekend and certainly hope to have him available. It's a different week in preparing for Charlotte as they're game plan specific. Don't look too dissimilar from us and what they do. So it's kind of like training camp. So if he can get healthy and physically be able to go, we certainly count on him to go this weekend. Marcus, maybe another week away. Maybe we get him back on the bye. It would be a great bonus if we could get him back this week, but we're not counting on it this time.
And the big fellas on the line, anything updated on them with Long going down and the guys moving over? No, Ethan also went down for a short time.
Yeah, Long will not be with us this week. He ended up having a procedure done, and he'll be back as soon as the doctors clear him. Ethan, we hope he's getting stronger every day. Certainly had a lot of pain on Sunday, and he was a lot better today. And I think there's even a chance he'll practice tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes.
So I lied unintentionally. More on the offense. Matt Sykes had a career-high 6 catches, career-high 82 yards. And what do you like about his development? Because he continues to do big things, and he's becoming that comfortable target for E.J. Warner.
He is, and when Matt is confident and when Matt plays like Matt's capable of, he can do big things for this offense, and that's what you saw. You mentioned the career-high numbers, but there's also a lot of meat on the bone that Matt left on there, and Matt would be the first one to tell you that. There's so many more plays that he could have made it's kind of a shame that you have your best day, but you also have 4 drops that would have been basically doubling the yardage on those plays. And those are plays that we know Matt can make, Matt knows he can make, and we need him to make them in those moments.
And did you see EJ improve in some areas that you were focusing on with him?
100%. Yeah, I thought, and even when we shifted gears and had to go into a 2-minute, just seeing his comfort in running the operation, getting everybody set, getting everybody up to the line of scrimmage, and finding the holes in the zone. Pressure, he again had a few good plays there as well, and got us to the right protection. Just really navigated the game really well. There's a couple throws that he still missed. That again, not going to be perfect. Not going to be perfect in this game, but man, it's sure nice when the quarterback gives you the balls to the ball in the right placement to be able to catch it and make a big play. And there's just a couple things where we're really close in that regard. We've got to make sure that we're closing those gaps and going to be able to go out there and perform this week.
It's probably obvious, but I know that you're not overhauling any part of the offense or anything, but he did look good in the tempo, and you made some progress. Could you see more of that? I know we're not going to give away everything to Charlotte and the other opponents, but with what EJ did you like enough to maybe try it some more?
Yeah, it's something we worked in training camp, and it's always good to bring other elements into this offense. I think when you think about the receivers that we thought we'd have and the depth we thought we'd have there, right now we don't, with Landon Ransom out, with Ross and McNeil out, with Ty Bowman out. When you get those guys in, it's certainly going to make it easier to do some more tempo and some of those things. But right now, we've got to make sure that we're doing whatever it takes to move the sticks, whatever is the most efficient for us. And the other thing about that is just thinking back to the game and understanding where it was. I mean, we were basically in a 2-minute mindset from midway through the third quarter on, as they were in zone coverage and doing some of their maybe base stuff, if you will, and keeping those safeties a little bit deeper than they were early in the game.
Yeah. And no, Marcus Williams is out, and that changed up some of the linebacking core, but Ty Morris came in, and he took advantage. He's made plays before, but career-high 7 tackles. What have you liked about Ty's maturation? He told me in the offseason, hey, he gained a lot more weight, and you're seeing that number 3 everywhere. You don't miss him when he gets out there.
Yeah, he's growing up right before our eyes. I mean, even last year we started to see those steps, so it's great to see Ty and what he's able to do on the football field. Another guy that I'm sure you called his name a bunch on Saturday is Blaze Tita. Mm-hmm. And, Blaze hit over 20 on the GPS. He's a big, violent linebacker, and he just plays this game the right way. And I think when you had Blaze in there, you had Chike in there, Chike playing more of that base Sam role in that game plan, and just jumped into it with a week of practice and did a great job kind of moving back to his roots. We all remember when Chike was playing the Viper position, then the last couple of years he's been inside at a Mike or Will spot, and so him bouncing out there and his flexibility and then just making those plays, not just a great special teams player. This is a guy that came in the game and played incredibly physical and made many plays for us.
It's in guys like that. They're all great players. They wouldn't be playing this level of college football without it. But how do you see, and you said Sykes on the offensive side, but guys get more reps. And is it a belief, or is it just, hey, getting those reps and you just keep seeing it like Blaze on the defensive side?
Yeah, I think, for him, he's just continuing to grow in the system. This is Blaze's first year in, and, I mean, he's having a huge role on special teams. But, again, his role in base defense has to continue to grow. He's a guy that in junior college last year spent most of his time at the rush position, like where Josh Piercy typically is, the passer, and not so much off the ball. So it's been a little bit of a transition for him. But everything seems to be going really well with that transition. And, again, every week he's getting much more comfortable. Same thing you're seeing with Ty Morris as well. And those guys just continue to grow. But there is something to be said about that word we both used, and that's confidence. As you get more comfortable in a system, it allows you to have a great week of prep and earn that confidence and be able to go out there and turn it loose on Saturdays.
Yeah, speaking of confidence, Josh Piercy has had that for a long time. What have you seen, not from just that game, but I talked to his parents before the game, and they're playing so close in his backyard. I didn't know that he almost came to Army and broke their hearts.
I didn't know that either.
Mom was telling me that. And just what have you made of Josh, kind of his new flex role in what he does? Because calling his name a lot too, but you expect that from a veteran star that he is.
You do, yeah, and certainly a very talented individual, and his ability to play the rush and now play off the ball some. This past week, he was kind of more back at that rush in the base defense. This week, he's going to play some of that off the ball backer, some on the ball backer as well. So it's just fun that he gives Coach Smith that flexibility to go to either of those spots and make a difference. And certainly anytime we turn him loose rushing the passer, it's a good thing.
Yeah. So there was some big news across college football today that wasn't really huge news, that the AAC teams that were being courted to the Pac-12 were staying put. And the conference made a release. How big is that to keep this conference together?
Well, I think it's a great conference. So, but I saw the media report when we were on the bus. I texted a few people Friday afternoon, and I kind of knew it was all BS at that time. But it is funny how things get out there in the national news, and there's multiple reporters that you know. Usually, when you see a story come from one of them, you're like, "Oh crap, that's got legs," or they wouldn't be on it. Matter of fact, it might be done, or they wouldn't have said it. Like Pete Thamel's one of those guys. If Pete Thamel says this might happen, it means it's already done, in my eyes anyway. And but so there's a couple of those reports, got a few texts back, and I wasn't real worried about it. But I do think keeping our conference together is a really good thing for as long as we can, because these are the names that we know. This is the old Conference USA, but it's been elevated to be the American, which is really the fifth best league out there, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right, talk about our guest on the show. It's a tight end special night. You have the youngster Lucas Reed and the youngster tight ends on the night here.
Yeah, Lucas ain't nearly as young as he used to be. We used to talk about the young Lucas Reed when he came here at 22 years old as a
Grizzled
volunteer.
Better now, huh?
Yeah, I mean, he is, if you think about it. That was 2018. He came here and worked with Pete Lembo, who will make anybody grow old fast, but teach him a lot of football in the process. And then, he moves over to the offensive side. He's been in multiple rooms. He's helped us in so many ways. And going from a graduate assistant to a quality control coach, and now in his second year coaching tight ends for us, man, like he's just doing a really good job. Yeah. And, we've talked before about the lineage and being the son of a high school football coach, a very successful high school football coach in Arkansas, and how you grow up in this business. It's what I pray my kids never do. But, he did it, and he's doing a great job with it. And, and then you look at Elijah Maharo and coming over from Cal, being coached by Marcus Tuiasosopo, they're coached and recruited by him, and then joining us. And we are certainly glad to have him and his leadership and his toughness and everything that he brings to the table. And then Graham Walker, we're just all starting to see. It's almost the same conversation we just had about Blaze Tita, you could say about Graham Walker. Like, he's getting more and more comfortable every week. I mean, gosh, he had several huge plays for us offensively in the third and fourth quarter where he's just moving the sticks. He's doing some big things in this offense, and I really just think we're scratching the surface of his potential and how he can help us going forward.
All right, Coach, back to that Chonga. Okay.
You know what? Everything needs to change to go 1-0. I'm doing enchiladas tonight.
Okay,
making
good.
sacrifice for the team.
I like it. All right, thanks, boss.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Dunlevie family football coach for Rice Owls, Mike Bloomgren. We'll talk to one of those tight ends, Mr. Elijah Maharo, coming up next here. Meet Casino, the Mike Bloomgren Show from Learfield.
Rice teams and traditions are legendary. Our team as strategic wealth designers are proud to be a partner of Rice Athletics. What an honor to be working together. When you're ready to discuss your financial future, call the team the Owls trust. We look forward to creating your winning strategy for retirement. Visit us at swdgroup.com today and go Owls.
Rice fans need a place to stay while watching your Owls play ball? Located just steps from campus is the Hilton Houston Medical Center. Visit us today at houstonplaza.hilton.com or call 713-313-4000 to get that special Rice discount. Again, that's houstonplaza.hilton.com or call 713-313-4000 to get that special Rice discount now.
Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer for those who don't follow trends but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery with only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories. This is a premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. So don't just raise a glass, raise a flight by Yingling, official beer partner of Rice Athletics and now available everywhere in Texas. The Yingling Company, Fort Worth, Texas. Please enjoy responsibly.
North Star Pressure Washing is a full-service pressure washing company able to provide any type of exterior cleaning to your property, whether you're a small business looking to improve your appearance for your customers or you're a property owner looking to add curb appeal to your home. In addition to improving your property's appearance, our services will also protect your property from the damage mildew, algae, and other airborne contaminants can cause, thus extending the life of your home or property. Remember North Star Pressure Washing for all your pressure washing needs. Big or small, our company does it all.
Attention thrill seekers and luxury enthusiasts. Ever wondered what it's like to command the road in a Porsche? Stop wondering and start driving. Right now at Porsche River Oaks, we are inviting you to take the driver's seat and feel the power of precision engineering with our exclusive test drives. Our knowledgeable team is ready to put you behind the wheel, allowing you to unleash the true potential of a Porsche. From the all-new design 2014 Cayenne to the versatile Macan, discover the thrill of performance and luxury craftsmanship of Porsche. Schedule your test drive at Porsche River Oaks today. Exclusive benefits to students and alumni. Go Owls!
This is the Mike Bloomgren Show, live at Micosina. Now here again, the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
You know it, bienvenidos. Welcome back here to the Mike Bloomgren Show. Here at Me Casino, we've got 2 Monday Night Football games on, some delicious Tex-Mex, good Mambo margaritas. Remember, those are at Rice games now. Joined now by tight end of our Owls, number 7, Elijah Maharo. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me, sir.
Yeah, thanks for coming on out. Yeah. What's a Monday typically like? I went to most of practice, but balancing, I know most of the classes, I'm sure, during the day for the guys, but what's the Monday like? Because you want to remember some of the previous game, win or loss, but also you're focusing on 5 days ahead. What's the Monday like?
Start the day, go to class, get that kind of all done, squared away. Had philosophy 100 today. Yeah, just kind of grow the mentals, and then you really lock in. You watch the film with a critical eye, and you sit there and really analyze why the game went the way it did. And yeah, after that, wash it. It's 1-0 this week. That's our focus, and yeah, we're on to Charlotte.
Yeah. So you said philosophy 100?
Yes, sir.
So can you philosophize for us now? Do you have any deep thoughts like, I think, therefore I am? We going Aristotle? We going Confucius?
No, we did Kant today.
Okay.
Yeah,
it's a little above me. I'm a state school guy.
So. I don't have anything too crazy for you.
Okay.
I'm going to be completely honest. Ty Bowman, though, that's your philosophy guy. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's in class with me. But
okay. I don't know him too well, but
yes,
he seems very talkative.
That is his jam.
Get deep. Anything else that you like from the classes side, not on Mondays?
Yeah, my Tuesday, Thursday classes are really fun, and 2 business courses on those days. One of them's like a new enterprise discovery class, so kind of learned about myself, what path I want to follow when all this football stuff is said and done.
Yeah. You obviously have a noggin on you, starting your career at Cal and coming to Rice. What Coach mentioned, obviously, Coach Tui had a large part in coming here.
Yes, sir.
But what was it that appeal? Was it just Tui? Was it, hey, I can still keep the books, if not an upgrade, or really good in the classes too? What was it that sold you on Rice?
A mix of both. My mom always held academics to a high standard in my household, and I'm one of the first people to go to college in my family, so keeping the prestige of the academics was important to me, but also getting the football out of it, and I think this is a great program, ran by great people, and thought it was the right place for me.
Yeah. What have you learned about yourself in these, I guess, almost 2 years coming over? Like, where do you think you've grown the most or learned about yourself?
I'd say mental toughness and mental fortitude, especially being so far away from family. You miss out on a lot of stuff, birthdays, different family occasions. I don't get to see my grandma as much anymore, but just being able to be here and grind, and also just how much I do love football, and these guys on this team, like, I wouldn't trade for anything.
All ball, huh?
Oh, yeah.
You seem like a guy, when we mention your name, you got a lot of that screw you in you, or use another name in a good football sense. You look at yourself like that, you're not going to take much lip or gruff, take any flack from another guy, or how would you describe your play?
You could say that. I'm a little hard-headed. Yeah, I have like a very confident mindset, I'd say. Confident in myself, confident in my team, and yeah, I'm not going to take any trash from anybody else.
That's good. In my business, too, you got to talk a good game.
Oh, yeah.
Who are your football inspirations, like maybe even a player you watched or a good coaching inspiration that kind of molded you growing up?
Steve Barillier is one of them, and then my uncle Jesse Rosas, coached at St. Anna High School. Those two really, I feel like, elevated me as a football player. Coach B taught me kind of how to be a tight end. I grew up being a quarterback, learning from my uncle, and he molded me into the tight end that I am today. Coach B did. Just really being like detail oriented, step by step, hand placement, your strike, your first step, making sure that everything is perfect, and that'll lead to a perfect rep.
So you answered part of this. When did you make the move from quarterback to tight end in the development phase?
My freshman year of high school.
Okay.
And it was against my will. And I'll say I kicked and screamed like a little kid, but it was honestly the best thing for me. Transitioned to receiver and then to tight end as a sophomore. And yeah, so glad that I did.
Yeah, did you just kind of outgrow receiver, kind of have that big body, or did you bulk up to do it? Or?
Oh, I bulked up to do it. I looked at our receiving room. We had a ton of 4-star guys, 5-star guys, and I'm a young sophomore trying to get on the field at a Trinity League school. And I was like, I think I can get that spot. And I went and took that spot and never looked back.
Seize the day, seize the opportunity.
Yes, sir.
Seize the moment, right. So many Cali guys on this roster for a lot of different states, but did you know any of them before coming to Rice?
I don't believe so. I don't believe there's any of the Cali guys that I really knew, but I'm glad that they're my teammates now.
Yeah.
Love every one of them.
You got that bond. And you enlightened me that during the break you told me you're actually a Vikings fan. That interesting nugget. How did you, in the world as a kind of, I guess, middle coast California, I don't know all the California terms, but how's a guy from over on the West Coast become a Vikings fan?
Southern California kid. Like I said, my uncle Jesse Rosas, huge football fan, and he has like a vintage jersey collection. I was going through it one day. I was like, can I get this jersey? And it was a Warren Moon Vikings jersey. And ever since then, been a Vikings fan. You know, love my Vikings, Skull Vikings. I always mess with Ty Bowman, Lake Minnetonka, because he's from Minnesota. But yeah, man, love the Vikings.
I assume he's a Vikings fan too? Or?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You know, Warren Moon obviously played here.
Yeah.
Played for the
Houston.
Oilers forever and a day, little run and shoot action. Tell us about the team now and how, obviously, a disappointing game, Captain Obvious, this past one, but what's from inside the locker room perspective of how you guys, you take it, but you still move on the rest of the season?
I mean, obviously, you got to learn from it, right? But like Coach Bloom said, the optimistic mindset, keeping, especially with the top guys and some of the leaders on the team, keeping that high head on our shoulders and still realizing there's a lot of ball to go. Season's nowhere near over, and it's all in our grasp. If we go 1-0 this week, just sets us up.
You're obviously very articulate. So articulate, if you will, how tough the tight end position is, because I think it's probably Coach Reed and other coaches have told me just the nuances just are over my head, but there's so much stuff you're focusing on each play. How tough is it?
Well, for me, I don't think it's that tough, but that's also because I've been in this position for a while now. I say it's the toughest position on the offense other than quarterback. You have to know stuff with the linemen. You have to know your calls with them. You have to pay attention to receivers. You also have to know your job. So it's difficult at times, but it's also what kind of makes it fun.
Probably an obvious question, but who's the best tight end in the NFL now?
I don't like to get into the politics of that because people say Kelsey, man. I don't know if Kelsey's that guy. I'm a Kittle guy myself.
He's not bad.
Oh, yeah, he's a dog.
Yeah. Is it a tight end's game now? Like, I've heard all the metrics. There's more running the football than throwing now, but maybe that comes back, or
I think the tight end's going to live forever.
Always?
Yeah.
Okay.
Always. It's the best position on the field.
Yeah. Tell us something we might not know about Graham. And I always say when I ask this question, Graham Walker, another tight end on the roster, he gets equal fire on you, so you can't shove him under the bus too much.
I can't say anything too crazy. I'll say Graham's a little bit of a goofball. You got to get it out of him because at front he puts on this quiet persona, but he's a little bit goofy, and he's cracking a smile right now. I can see it.
He's trying not to look at you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You've got good hair, and I can say this as a guy who's very jealous of anyone that has any hair.
I appreciate it.
Who else has some good locks on the team? Bichetta's got some good flow. I don't know if they're saying Chet, whatever y'all say these days.
Bichetta? Man, that's tough. Who has some good hair? You know, Ty Morris does have great hair. I'd say Kobe Campbell had some great hair before he cut it all off. Yeah, that was my guy. He had some beautiful locks, but yeah. I'd say Ty has a good head of hair on him. Bowden, too. Bowden has some good hair.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You Cali guys in the good hair. Tight end room.
Cali guys, good hair, good vibes. Yeah, we got it all.
Hey, thanks a lot for coming.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Thank you so much.
Elijah Maharo of our Rice Owls. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we will have the aforementioned Graham Walker joining us here next. It's the Mike Bloomgren Show live from Casino from Learfield.
Shoppers has the right John Deere equipment for you. If you're looking for a tractor, gator, or lawnmower, let the experts at Shoppers give you the right answers to your John Deere questions. Shoppers makes buying a piece of John Deere equipment easy with our online Build It, Price It, Own It tool. You can add attachments specific to your needs or check out our ready-to-go John Deere tractor packages. See all that Shoppers has to offer by Googling Shoppers at SHOPPAS. Shoppers, your John Deere tractor experts and proud sponsors of Rice Owl Athletics.
Big trip on the horizon? Before you depart, you gotta park. The parking spot is a simpler, easier way to navigate airport parking, and you can save when you book online. You're guaranteed a spot, and we even pick you up at your trunk in our yellow and black spotted shuttles and take you straight to the terminal. Parking and saving come full circle at the parking spot. The Parking Spot, proud sponsor of Rice University. Visit theparkingspot.com to reserve your spot today.
Cancer is never just cancer. It affects your entire body. At Houston Methodist Neal Cancer Center, we have the expertise to treat all of you. Leading oncologists use the latest technology, research, and treatments to stop your cancer, while specialists minimize its effects on major organs. There's a better approach to cancer care that heals all of you. That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
At True Anomaly Brewing, our greatest achievement lives in knowing that everything we've learned is yours to enjoy. While it may not be rocket science, we brew with the same detail and dedication learned while running mission operations for NASA. Taking risks is part of our DNA. We don't take them just to say we did, we take them because of the result. Bold brews we're proud to share with fellow adventure seekers. True Anomaly Brewing, beer for the explorers.
You're listening to the latest on Owls football with the head coach, Mike Bloomgren. Now let's go back inside Micosina.
CC, we are back here at the Mike Bloomgren Show every Monday night of a game week. Got a couple games here on the tube. Our Commanders have started. I say that in the respect of Luke McCaffrey out there. Al, just last year. Lucas Reed, tight ends coach, comes next segment, and then Coach Bloomgren back to preview Biff Poggi. The Charlotte 49ers, joined now by number 16 of the Rice Owls in that tight end room, Graham Walker. How you doing?
Good. How are you? Hello,
hey.
Everyone. Yeah.
So you're really a goofball, or is that like...
You gotta catch me at the right moment. I try to keep it professional for the most part, but I can joke around a little bit for sure.
Yeah, it's good to keep people off balance.
Keep them on your toes a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
So, like your predecessor here, you got the noggin yourself. You came from Brown, where you had a really good career. What was it that sold you on Rice coming down here up a level or two?
Yeah, no, I had a great experience at Brown, but I knew it was time for me to go play football somewhere else. Talked to a few schools while I was in the transfer portal, but I just think what sticks out with Rice is just the commitment to you. I was hearing from coaches every single day, just showing the interest, telling me I have a spot on this team and how excited they are to see me. And it's just, when you get that much love and support, it's hard to turn down, you know what I'm saying? And so Rice was for me. I became an Owl.
And you've been more involved in the offense as of late. I know we're 4 games into the year, but are things slow down? Always hear that phrase in different sports, or is it playbook thing, or what is it that gets you more involved?
No, it's definitely things slowing down for sure. It's a new position for me. I was a receiver at Brown, so I'm looking left, right, and center, trying to figure out different things, but. We have an awesome group of guys. Coach Reed is awesome in helping me with every question. I'm in his office every day looking at scripts and things like that. I'm sure he's getting sick of me. But it's great when I have a support network around me, and that just helps with the growing process and becoming a tight end and things like that.
Well, I guess I didn't know that part of it. Silly me, but what adjustments you have to make going from wide receiver to tight end?
I'd never put my hand in the dirt before. Proud of myself. Last week I had my first pass blocking rep, which I was super proud of. My dad's he was a lineman. He played Division III football at St. Lawrence, and he was. We've always seen at different ends because I played receiver. He played lineman, so he was super happy to see me blocking someone for the first time and things like that. So we had a good laugh about that.
So are you always on the offensive side? Or?
Always been offense, yeah. I started at quarterback in high school, played a couple years when I was in Vermont, and then I made the transition. I went to prep school in Connecticut, played receiver there, and then I played receiver all through college, and then got here and made the switch to tight end. Yeah.
So going home, in a sense, when we go to UConn next month, how close is that to your hometown and your prep school?
It's about 4 hours away from my hometown, but that won't stop people from making their way down. And it's cool because that's super close, like 30 minutes away from my prep school. So I've already heard some commitments about people who are going to be going to that game and things like that. I'm going to have to start begging for tickets from my teammates already, and it's going to be great.
So Heinsberg, Vermont.
Yep, you got it.
So how does a guy from Heinsberg end up at Brown? And then you already told the other half of that story getting down here.
Yeah.
I've not heard many football players coming out of Heinsberg, with respect.
There ain't a lot of football players coming out of Vermont in general, to be honest with you. I left Vermont because I wasn't going to get the recruiting looks that I wanted. I don't know if we have any coaches going to Vermont, but I doubt it because no one goes to Vermont to recruit football players. So I knew I had to get to prep school, and I performed well in my 2 years there at prep. Talked to some colleges. Brown made a strong pitch. They throw the ball a lot. It was a good offense to be in. They were growing. They had a spot for me, and an awesome mix of education and football, just like you get here at Rice. And it was an easy decision when it all came down to it.
Similar question to Elijah. Who guided you the most from a coaching or like motivational standpoint to grow along your young career?
Yeah, I don't know if it's necessarily football coaches in that sense. I think it's a real support network. Obviously, it starts with family, my grandparents, my mom, my dad, and things like that, and just it grows to a certain coach at a high school, and then my advisor in prep school, Mr. Rothman. He was a great advisor. I was always in his ear asking things. I still call him to talk about my life and ask him questions because he's that source of wisdom. I kind of see him as an older brother. So it takes an army when it comes to that kind of thing, and I'm glad to say I have one.
What other sports did you play growing up?
Yeah, I played basketball, baseball, and soccer growing up. I pitched. I played point guard for a little bit in high school, and then it was great. I love those sports. I think football was probably my best bet for me, but I certainly sometimes miss, and I'll go home and shoot with some of the guys that I grew up playing with and things like that. So that's great.
Yeah. I saw another note in your bio that really stuck out. You helped with Special Olympics. And that team won a national championship.
Oh, I could go on and on about my Special Olympics experience. My junior year when I was in Vermont, I elected to not play baseball. I wanted to focus just on basketball and football. And one of my teachers at school, who I was friends with, one of the coaches on the basketball team, he came up to me and he told me that they were doing a Special Olympics thing this year where we have one every year where the Special Olympics teams in Vermont play each other. But they were chosen to go to the Special Olympics in Washington State. That was held at the University of Washington.
Wow.
And in Vermont, it's one thing. You're kind of just there to kind of like help guide the kids and, grab a rebound, give them the ball, let them shoot. We had the crowds come out. It was an awesome experience. Once you get into the actual Olympics element of that, those kids are a bit more high functioning. They actually want you to play with the players a little bit. Obviously, you're not guarding these kids, but it was really cool. When I played basketball, they were always on the sideline, going crazy for us, and so it was a really cool moment to go play basketball with them and watch their excitement. And the fact that we ended up winning gold, I didn't want to leave without a medal there. It was one of the most special experiences of my life, and I really do appreciate that. And I ended up doing some more stuff at Brown as well, where I helped out with some Special Olympics volleyball that was taking place as well. It's a very passionate part of my heart for them.
Yeah, and it's the most rewarding thing. I've done some things. I need to do more of it, but it's just so. I had an uncle who did Special Olympics stuff, so I've always had a heart for it. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. You can't describe.
Just the pure joy that you see in their eyes. It just gives you life. It really does. When they make a basket, make a pass, just see the things that you did and that got cheers from your peers, and they're getting those same cheers. It's awesome, and the crowds were awesome. It's a really cool organization and what they do and what they provide, and it gave those kids a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and it certainly gave me a once-in-a-lifetime experience.
Yeah, amazing. On your academic side of things, tell us what you're taking, what you enjoy, what you don't.
Yeah, so I'm a history guy. I like history. I like writing. I graduated from Brown actually with a major in philosophy with a focus in ethics. I'm a little upset that you didn't mention me as the philosophy guy. You went with Ty, but I'll try to get over it. Here at Rice, I'm taking I'm taking a history class, America since the Civil War. I'm taking a nutrition class. I'm taking Intro to Media Studies.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have a certain favorite NFL quarterback? I don't know, maybe in the AFC.
Yeah, I think it would be bad if I didn't say that Patrick was my favorite NFL quarterback for sure. Yeah.
Half brother of Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
So how often do you keep up? You give any kind of point? Hey, Patrick, you're doing this. What you got to do?
I'm only a high school quarterback. I have no leeway in telling him what to do or what not to do. The big events, I like to reach out for those big things. I won't bother him for, the game-to-game stuff, but, obviously like the MVPs, clinching things like clinching the conferences, things like that, the Super Bowls. He's had a couple of kids, my niece and nephews, so things like that. Those are exciting moments for him, and I'm really happy for the success that he has and the player he's become.
He's not bad. I think he has a future in the game. That's
I
take,
think he's got a couple more years left in it. Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, for sure.
Hey, thanks, you goofball.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. The one and only Graham Walker joining us here, the Mike Bloomgren Show in Mekosina. We'll get to Lucas Reed coming up next here from Mekosina. It's Rice football from Learfield.
Owl fans know where to stay when they come to Houston. Courtyard by Marriott, Rice University is the preferred choice, whether cheering on Coach Bloomgren and the team or kicking off their Rice experience during O Week. Just minutes from Rice Village and only 3 miles to campus, we provide the right mix of convenience and accessibility. When you're hungry, stop by the bistro for either breakfast or evening options. Cheer for the Owls by raising a glass in the lounge and unwind with your favorite beverage. Call 713-661-5669 to make a reservation, and be sure to ask for the Rice University rate. We look forward to welcoming you.
You ready for the big game? Fuel up for game day at Salad and Go. Whether you're tailgating, playing in the game, or cheering from home, make sure you've got your game day greens. From fresh salads to hearty wraps and refreshing drinks, Salad and Go has what you need to fill up and feel great. Score big with game day greens from Salad and Go. It's just what you need to win the day. Find a drive-thru near you at saladandgo.com or order online at saladandgo.com.
Rice teams and traditions are legendary. Our team as strategic wealth designers are proud to be a partner of Rice Athletics. What an honor to be working together. When you're ready to discuss your financial future, call the team the Owls trust. We look forward to creating your winning strategy for retirement. Visit us at swdgroup.com today and go Owls.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
Welcome back to the Mike Bloomgren Show. Here's the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Yes. Stay tuned. Coach Bloomgren will come back, and we will preview those Charlotte 49ers here in just a hair. We can't keep the great Lucas Reed waiting. How are you doing?
Doing great. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on out. We heard from two of the guys, but I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you just and you got Bowden Gruen, a talented tight end. So just talk to us about the unit as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of great depth in the room. You know, you heard from Elijah and Graham. You got Bowden, who's had a great year so far. You know, and James Falk, who's still coming along, the freshman, and you know, this is his second year in the program, and he's making really good strides. And all of them, Matt Hall, Ethan Powell, all those guys. So Jagger Hebeson, Jake Dragu, they're all just bringing it every day, and it's all I can ask for from them, which is great.
Do you do any more scout team quarterback stuff, or is that just a while back?
Yeah, I did it against Army back in 2019.
Okay.
And then, you know, luckily I didn't have to do it this year. You know, they gave it to Justin, Coach McIntyre. So he did it this year, and I didn't have to do it this year. So
you'd grown out of that, so to speak.
I did.
Coach mentioned it. From his perspective about your coaching influences in your family. Give us I know you've talked about it with us in the past, but just your influences, and I guess it seemed like you were kind of destined to do this. I know it was your choice, but it seemed like it was laid out well for you.
Well, my granddad was a longtime high school coach in Arkansas, and then my dad was a high school coach for back at Bartlett, Tennessee, and Memphis, and then went to Stephen F. Austin as a quarterbacks coach, and then El Dorado High School in Arkansas, where where I played quarterback for him, and then my brother, he's coaching at Georgia Southern now as the running backs coach, and so it just kind of ran in the family, and just grew up around the game as a ball boy, starting out, and then playing college football at Ouachita Baptist, played quarterback there, and so I'd say my dad was a big part of that, my granddad, and then my brother wanted to get into coaching and wanting to do it as well. And Coach Derby at Ouachita Baptist, he was my quarterbacks coach, and Coach Bloomgren worked with him at Delta State back in the day.
Oh, okay.
And so he was a big deal and taught me a lot of the game, the ins and outs of it, playing college football as well. So and then graduated from there and just wanted to keep going and coach college. So.
So you've done so many different things here. What have you learned about yourself coming up through the ranks? I'm sure it's a lot that could fill a lot of time, but just you've been around with Coach Bloomgren forever, but in a few different roles, and now on the position coach side of things for a second year.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Bloomgren's been awesome to me. I started out as a special teams volunteer and probably learned the most that year. Playing quarterback, you don't really do a lot of special teams. And so learned probably the most that year other than any other year, because it's so completely different of what you've always done. And so just with Coach Limbo, that was a great year for me. And then being able to be a graduate assistant with the running backs and the receivers, and then getting to work with the quarterbacks, which is what I played to get back to that, and work with Jerry Mack and then Coach Tui Asasopo. Those guys have been great influences for me and have taught me a lot of the ins and outs of the game from different lenses and from different rooms, and it's something I'm going to take for the rest of my life. So very grateful for all of them.
So I saw it over the summer, and Chuck reminded me earlier, 247 had you 30 under 30. I know you have this massive ego, but hard to deal with, I'm sure. But
yeah.
What did that mean to you when you got that recognition?
I mean, obviously very, very grateful, but a lot of that, I mean, Coach Bloomgren, he's given me a lot of that, and just learning a lot from him, and just like I talked about, a lot of the guys that have helped me along the way. I'm very fortunate, I'm very blessed, and it's been awesome. And so very grateful for the opportunity and the accolade that they gave me with that, and just continuing to learn. I'm 29, but I've got a lot of learning to do, which is so fun about this game, because you never stop learning, so it's great.
Tight end's a complex position. Obviously, most folks watching and listening know what the tight end position is, but what's something they might not know about the complexity of it?
Yeah, I think the tight end position is a very, very unique position, because you're an offensive lineman with wings. You got to be able to block a defensive end who's probably bigger than you and stronger than you. And so you got to be a technician with everything you do. You got to have lower pads than him. You got to have tight hands. You got to be a master of your footwork with your hands and your technique. And then in the route game, you've got to be able to separate from safeties, because you're going against guys that are faster than you, right? Talking about safeties in the pass game, and so again, there you've got to be great with your route running detail, with getting in and out of breaks and all that stuff. So, like I said, an offensive lineman with wings, you got to be gritty. You got to have an edge about yourself, because you're going against somebody bigger than you, when you're blocking an end one-on-one, so you got to have that edge to yourself. And then when you're running a route, you're not always going to be the fastest guy out there. So you have to be a technician and have an edge, like I said, yeah.
What's Charlotte look like? In the past, they've had some big, mean defensive linemen. On a whole, what does Charlotte look like defensively and up front?
Yeah, I mean they're a big, twitchy defensive line, and so they do some really good stuff on defense, and that they'll blitz you on every third down, fourth down, and so we got to be ready for that stuff. And like I said, their DNs are pretty twitchy and long and athletic, and so we got to do a great job with our pad level. And making sure our pads are under theirs every play, and doing what we can do in the run and the pass game to help this offense. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for coming out.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. The great Lucas Reed, tight ends coach of our Rice Owls, joining us. Stay tuned. Coming up next, Coach Bloomgren will come back and we'll talk about Biff Poggi's guys and those Charlotte 49ers. It's the Mike Bloomgren Show from Learfield.
Behind every door at Houston Methodist, you know what to expect. Expertise. Whether it's life-saving brain surgery, your 3D mammogram that catches breast cancer sooner, or orthopedic specialists helping you feel stronger than ever. With hundreds of doors across Houston, you can get expert care everywhere.
That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
North Star Pressure Washing is a full-service pressure washing company able to provide any type of exterior cleaning to your property, whether you're a small business looking to improve your appearance for your customers or you're a property owner looking to add curb appeal to your home. In addition to improving your property's appearance, our services will also protect your property from the damage mildew, algae, and other airborne contaminants can cause, thus extending the life of your home or property. Remember North Star Pressure Washing for all your pressure washing needs. Big or small, our company does it all.
Attention thrill seekers and luxury enthusiasts. Ever wondered what it's like to command the road in a Porsche? Stop wondering and start driving. Right now at Porsche River Oaks, we are inviting you to take the driver's seat and feel the power of precision engineering with our exclusive test drives. Our knowledgeable team is ready to put you behind the wheel, allowing you to unleash the true potential of a Porsche. From the all-new design 2014 Cayenne to the versatile Macan, discover the thrill of performance and luxury craftsmanship of Porsche. Schedule your test drive at Porsche River Oaks today. Exclusive benefits to students and alumni. Go Owls!
This is the Mike Bloomgren Show, live at Mi Cocina. Now here again, the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Yes. Final segment here. Rice Owls and the Charlotte 49ers with Dunlevie family football coach again, Mike Bloomgren. Thoughts sitting back those last few segments, hearing the guys. What are your thoughts?
Oh, man, it's so cool to hear them. And, like, for Graham to make that transition from an ex-receiver his whole life and making those big catches in overtime and some of the things he did for Brown to moving to tight end, but he really didn't tell you how it came about. Like, we recruited him to be an ex-receiver. And I think kind of like what Mojo said when he was in high school. He looked around and he's like, man, some of these dudes are really fast. And so really without telling us, they have these player-led practices, as you know, in the summer. And I was walking by one day, and I see him working at X receiver, and the next time I'm walking by, he's with the tight end group. And so I started messing with Lucas. I was like, how much did you recruit this guy? Because Bobby Kennedy was like the one recruiting him, helping him get here. And then I think we all joked with him a little bit when he first got on campus. And he chose, and he's dove in with both feet, and he really is a weapon at that position.
Yeah. So let's talk about Charlotte. 1-3 on the year. This is their conference opener coming up Saturday. I think most can agree college football needs more personalities like Biff Poggi. Just what type of team does he have this year?
Oh, he's got a really talented football team is what he's got. And a lot of great pieces out there. And, they're a team that's going to figure this thing out. We just hope it's not this Saturday. We hope we can do what we can control and not allow them to do it this Saturday.
Yeah. Kind of developed. I know there was one blowout in there, but kind of developed into a rivalry. Most of the games have been pretty close.
Yeah, they have. They've been good games, and with the first one I remember going to overtime. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is that the way you remember? Yeah. So some really good back and forth, and these programs obviously making the jump to the American at the same time, and us going up there in kind of a must-win situation last year, and our defense just playing lights out, and us running the football. Dean kind of having a career game. It was a lot of fun, and now we've got a chance this week to go 1-0 and put some more good film out there for the Rice Owls, and that's exactly what we're going to try to do.
One of the more unique things is they have three quarterbacks, not only that have played, but have played significant. It's not like you had a pie chart. It would be like 32%, 34%, 33%. I mean, they've really sliced it up. What's the rhyme or reason, or just what are their strengths that add up to that?
Yeah, Biff's a very good businessman. I mean, before he became a full-time football coach, he was at an unbelievable private school in Baltimore, Maryland, and but also had his business on the side, or really maybe it was his main thing. But in either case, he knows what he's doing, and he's always going to be able to play a game the right way. And after their game against Indiana, he talked about both those other quarterbacks not being available. And Trexler Ivy did start and play the entire Indiana game 2 days ago, and basically said that Max has pins in his hand, and so Trexler is the one we're going to see, which is the quarterback we played against last year.
Yeah, I do remember that. And on defense, what do they like to do? I saw some names at the stat sheet some names coming back from last year.
Yeah, so you just kind of think about Ryan Osborne, their defensive coordinator, and his background. He was at the University of Michigan with Jesse Minter, and then he went to the Baltimore Ravens and kind of became part of that family, and now he's been at Charlotte for 2 years. So it's kind of a combination of those two systems, which are very similar to begin with. So he's a guy that's going to, play some base coverage and base fronts on first and second down, but on third down, he's absolutely going to light you up. And there are all kinds of different pressures But although like he does have some game plan specific situations where you prepare for all these pressures, and then you watch a game last year and then they only pressured 2 or 3 times in it. And so there's these big proverbial shifts, if you will, that occur. And that's one of the things that makes it challenging. It's the same as when somebody's going to show max blitz every time, and then half the time come and half the time drop out into a drop 8 scenario in coverage and basically play a max coverage. When everything looks the same, that's what makes them tough to prepare for. But again, the biggest problem with Charlotte is the talent they have on their roster. Yeah. And so we've got to do a great job taking care of our jobs. And when we do our 111th, we're going to be hard to deal with as well.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
Let's go beat the 49ers, baby.
Talk to you then.
1-0.
I'm in favor of that.
Yes, sir.
Remember, that's at 6 o'clock coming up on Saturday. That'll be on ESPN Plus, and, of course, Nate, Walter, and I will have the audio side of that coming up on Saturday. Families Weekend coming up as well. Thanks to the tight ends, Coach Lucas Reed. Thanks to Graham Walker, Elijah Maharo. Thanks to Coach Bloom. And thanks to you all for coming on out and watching / listening in. Appreciate you all. Have a great rest of this night. God bless. Go Owls. Rice fight. We'll talk to you Saturday. Rice in Charlotte. Here's Rice football from Learfield.
On the Rice Sports Network from Learfield, you've been listening to the Mike Bloomgren Show, live from Micosina. Micosina, serving undeniably authentic Tex-Mex. Tonight's show was brought to you by The Parking Spot. The Parking Spot. We have airport parking covered. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 716, lighting up Rice University in Houston for over 100 years. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Rice Sports Network.